Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Oh my goodness, literally this is my favorite interview I have ever done, and you're gonna love it. I have recorded an interview with Alex. She's been with us for 11 months with a virtual assistant, and her business literally went from 60K to 150, like literally more than double the business in 11 months. And she was saying that the reason why is because getting a virtual assistant got her to think bigger, got her to save time so she could spend more time into sales calls and showing up for the business. And her virtual assistant doing consistent social media created that credibility that she needed. So she had the biggest months before she joined us was $15,000 a month. And these months, in 11 months later, she made $40,000 in 1 month. So pretty much what she was making in a year, she made it in a month. I love it. So this is an incredible interview. You're going to find it so inspiring. And if you've been wondering, should I get a virtual assistant or not? What should I do? This is what you definitely need to listen to. I hope this inspires you and you get to take some action. If you want a virtual assistant, remember, we can help you with that. We found a virtual assistant with Alex, and we can do it for you too. See you soon. There we go. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Tuesday class in this group. We're here to give value and add value and show you what's possible for your business. Because sometimes when you don't see what other people are creating in the businesses, when you don't see other stories, you might get stuck in your own way. And it's very important as business owners as we support and show each other what else is possible. So today is my biggest privilege to introduce you to the one and only amazing Alexandra. I was going to say Alexandra let's see if I say this right. Bargaretta.
I was going to say, being Italian, Francesca, you should nail it first. Bargaretta.
Wow, I said it right.
Bargaretta if you're Australian, though.
I was trying to make it Australian type. Alex, are you Italian actually?
So my husband's Argentinian, but his grandparents were Sicilian. So that's why I sound like I should be in the Mediterranean somewhere.
I love it. Borgaretta.
Exactly.
But Alex, welcome here. I am so excited to hear your story and how your amazing virtual assistant that we were able to find you, the unicorn that we were able to find you, help you go from literally 60K to 156K a year, which is like you more than double the business. Yes. And your biggest month in June 2022 was 15K. And this year, the biggest month is 40K. I'm like, yes. Wait, what? So yes. Tell me what happened, because I love how genuine and real you are. And I'm sure that everybody here is going to love you. So everybody's watching this and you're curious about knowing how Alex did that with a VA, just say, what? in the chat. And I want to see like how many of you are like, what? I would love that. Hi, Tanya. Good to see you here. All right, let's go. So tell me, like, what happened? What's your business first and foremost?
So I'm an accountant. My business is Espresso Accounting. It's a mobile boutique accounting practice based on the Gold Coast. So I've been in practice by myself for the last 2.5 years as a result of COVID. And I think we're all looking for a bit more work-life balance. So I wanted to go out on my own and choose the clients that I wanted, do the work that I wanted, work with the people I love, be able to charge what I wanted and have control over my own life.
I love it. And how did it go? Like, you got that in the first few years by yourself in business?
Yeah, look, it's really challenging, obviously, running your own business, but it's incredibly rewarding. And if I could choose it again, I would always choose it. I love working for myself. I love having control over my life. I love being able to balance my family and my work life and work from home too, which is great.
Totally. But until how long ago? When did you start working with Mika, your virtual assistant?
Yeah, so that was started in the beginning of August last year.
The beginning of August. So it's going to be a year next month.
Yes, yes, we're nearly there.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. So tell me something, like what changed the moment that you became a CEO and had to having someone in your books? What changed for you?
So I think for me, I was drowning in administrative tasks, and I was doing probably 50-50. And I really needed to, as you mentioned, June last year was my biggest month I had done. It was $15,000, and I was just drowning in that admin work. I just couldn't keep on top of it. And I felt that after I went to the networking event and met you, Francesca, and I told you, you asked me, how much did you do last month? And I told you, and you said, you need a VA. So it was the first time I'd really considered having someone else in my business. I didn't know whether I wanted to be managing people again. I was a bit gun shy about that after having been a manager in a previous firm. And I just wanted a break from managing people, to be honest. But I knew that I couldn't really grow my business if I was spending all of my time doing admin work and not being able to meet with my clients or do productive work that would be billable. So I found the right person, and here we are 12 months on.
I love it.
It's been an amazing journey, and it's been incredible having someone else to show up for. And to really change from being, playing small really, to being that business owner, being the CEO of my own business.
I adore that. That's amazing. So you're saying that you're able to go from 60,000 a year to 156,000 in a year because you now have stepped into the shoes of a CEO, and you had a second person that you could delegate things, so it free up time for you to take on more clients. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, look, I think that's certainly part of it, but also having someone there putting me out there more, because I really didn't have time for social media. I didn't really have time for anything else in my business besides getting through the work. Having her there has created that visibility for my business and given me the credibility as a business owner. So I can be that industry leader. So I can be that person, the go-to person in my industry.
Amazing. So you're saying that like your VA she's only working part-time for you, by the way, only
20 hours a week, right? That's right.
That's amazing. So 20 hours a week, and she does a little bit of social media for you, and she does admin for you. And so how can you, if someone is watching this, they're going to be like, okay, wait, did the VA actually contributed to triple the business? No, not triple, double and a little bit the business?
Yeah, so she's certainly been, I wasn't even on Instagram before last year. So now I'm on Instagram. I had, without her support, I couldn't have started publishing my own podcast, the Freedom Fridays Movement, on Spotify. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I'm now up to episode 40. And I've had people who've been looking for an accountant on Google, just searching in their local area, who have actually reached out to me because of that podcast. So it's not necessarily making me any money, but having that as an add-on, a value-added service to prospective and current clients gives me that credibility. And I also was able to earn an award in my industry as the industry leader of the year last year because of that podcast. And I tell you what, if I was trying to publish, edit a podcast, post it on social media, it would be a nightmare. But because I have Mika, I've been able to do all of the things that I never even thought were possible 12 months ago.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. And obviously Mika is, like you were saying before, like we are specializing in social media and podcasts and all those things. And Mika does a lot of admin for you as well. So obviously we usually say get a virtual assistant from us. It means that your VA is fully trained in most of the things, but you had to also train your VA in things that we don't teach them, because we don't teach them bookkeeping and accounting because we don't have those skills. And so how did you find like having a virtual assistant that already knew the social media? Was that very valuable to you?
Oh, definitely, because I would say something like, oh, I really want to publish this, or I need to edit this. Oh, yes, I already know that software. Or, oh, yes, I already know how to do that. I know how to schedule things. And I mean, I had no idea how to do any of that. Obviously, I'm an accountant. My job is not social media. So I would give it a good hard crack. But her ability to create beautiful Canva images and schedule posts ahead of time. And it was such a win for me to know that I would spend hours trying to perfectly curate posts that maybe no one would even see on Facebook. And now I give her a task, it's done within the day, it's scheduled, ready to go, and I'm giving more value to my clients and prospective clients.
Oh,
So
that's amazing.
it's
Sounds
such a
like a
win.
dream. I know. If everybody
Well,
watching this, yeah.
I was going to say the biggest win for me, obviously being an accountant, was that she already had bookkeeping experience. So I was able to hand off all of my internal bookkeeping to her so I could focus on making money through my clients' work. So she's definitely a unicorn in that respect. She knew bookkeeping too.
I love it. That's amazing. I love to hear that, because what we try to do is to find virtual assistants that are a right match for the people. And when we hear things like that, we're like, oh my gosh, we found the unicorn that can do the social media for you and the podcast and do bookkeeping. There's not many people that can have that brain and do both of them. So I'm very happy that that worked out. But also, I've heard that you hire another person as well now, right?
Yes, I think what hiring Mika gave me that confidence to look outside of my bubble for people who could actually support me in my business. So as part of that, and because I knew I already had a team member in the Philippines, I was able to look to the Philippines for sourcing an accountant for my business. And I've now hired a full-time accountant who is based in the Philippines, who can support me in my business as well. So that's just freeing me up, giving me more freedom in my life, which is a very high value for me. And it just means that they can communicate really well, like they have the same sort of cultural understanding, they have the same work ethic and dedication, and are just such gorgeous people. I'm really, really grateful for having the experience with Mika, because that gave me the confidence to also hire another person in my business. So my business has gone from just me this time last year to now having a part-time VA and a full-time accountant in my business, which is amazing.
Wow, that is incredible. I love this story. That is so good. And so if someone is watching this and they've got a business and they are making 60K a year and they're thinking, I can't afford a VA, what would you say to them?
Well, that was the big thing for me, was whether I could actually afford this. And I think you're not going to grow your business until you invest in it. So I think it's an investment in getting rid of the things that you don't need to be doing so that you can spend more time in the value-added money-making tasks in your business. Because if you're spending 50% of your time, like me, doing admin or social media instead of actually networking and reaching out to prospective clients, you're not going to grow your business. So you need to free yourself up to be able to grow.
I 1,000,000% wouldn't be able to like agree more, because I'm like that's what I live and breathe. At the point that Alex, I'm like, I delegate everything. Even my Airbnb is delegated. Like everything. I love it. It's like so good to be able to give, someone else an opportunity to work with us and grow as a person as well. So I'm in love with that story. It's just so good. So the virtual assistant and you, like, how do you guys work together? If someone is like new to this and they're working like, how do you go from working by yourself to work with a VA? Like, I don't even know where I would start from. So tell us a bit of a story on how you guys start to work together. Did you actually, a lot of people that we give a Set Up for Success course, and I'm not sure if you had a chance to watch it. A lot of people don't even watch it, but I feel that it's so valuable. So did you have a chance to watch it? Or
I did, particularly in the first week and couple of weeks. So that first month was really critical in terms of building rapport. So I made it a priority. I know that it wasn't compulsory, but I made it a priority to have a scheduled Zoom call every single morning. And we still do that nearly 12 months on. There are some days if I have a client appointment or something at my son's school that I can't meet, but I always reach out to Mika first thing in the morning on Slack to good morning, saying good morning and wishing her a wonderful day and setting any tasks. We also use Trello to communicate tasks that are on her to-do list or things that need to be reviewed. So just for workflow management. So we make it a priority to meet most days, first thing in the morning when she starts her shift. And it's just to maintain that rapport and to talk about what's happening in our lives and what we did on the weekend. And this morning I was only having a Zoom call to tell both Mika and Giselle, my accountant, that I'd bought a new car and wanted to
Oh,
celebrate that. Yeah.
congratulations. That's amazing.
I really wanted to celebrate this growth in my business and really stepping into that business owner role. So yeah, I bought a new car and I wanted to share that celebration with them this morning. So we're only just talking about it.
I love it. How priceless it is also to have someone in your corner that believes in what you do in the business and wants to celebrate with you. Like to me, that's one of the reasons why I've got 7 virtual assistants and I love them to bits. And I'm like, don't leave me, like stay with me forever. Because they are just so that you got that person that's got your back, that they're there to celebrate with you. Like that to me is just invaluable, right?
So my business is espresso accounting. You can tell how I feel about coffee. So the first question I always ask in an interview is, how do you feel about coffee? And I think from that moment, Mika and I really connected over a mutual love of coffee. So I knew that we had that values alignment. We valued the same things, and that was really important to me. So we were on the same page from day one, and we've had such a wonderful rapport. It feels like I have a team. She knows what's going on in my family. I know what's going on in her family. I've always got someone to check in with, share the wins, share the challenges, and someone who's just cheering me on the whole way through. And you really need good people in your corner, because being an entrepreneur is a really lonely journey. And most of my friends are employed and they don't know what it's like. So to have people who can see all of what's going on in your business and your life and still be cheering you on it's really valuable.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Because, if you think about it, like in business, like you think about you last year, right? In June, when you had the 15K months, it was your biggest month. What did you do? Who did you celebrate it with? Like, how do you know what I mean? It's lonely, right?
It is. And the only people who see it really are my family. And so we might go to Sushi Train to celebrate, oh yeah, your new client signed an engagement letter, let's go to Sushi Train, or oh, look at what I got in my bank account today. But and that's great, because I think you need to celebrate the wins along the way, because it's hard going. It's really hard work growing a business from nothing. I had 1 business client and 6 individual clients when I started 2.5 years ago. And I've now grown to 123 clients. And it's just,
wow,
it's been a massive growth, which I'm incredibly grateful for. But you do have to celebrate those wins. And it's great if you get to do it with other people too.
Absolutely. And so right now, I've heard that you have a waiting list. Like if someone wants to sign up with you now, you can't get them. You're fully booked.
I've had to actually say to people who wanted assistance with tax planning prior to 30 June, who've reached out to me, I'm sorry, I can't actually help you before 30 June. So if you need something post that date, we can talk about it, but I can't do anything else at this point. As you mentioned, it's a 40K plus month for June, which has already got me working every day. So no, I've had to say no, which I think is really important, to understand where the boundaries are and just to give yourself a break sometimes too.
Yeah, absolutely. And also like to honor where you're at in business and stop and celebrate for a second, because sometimes growing doesn't also bring us joy. So we need to sort of slow down to go faster. So
absolutely.
I mean, Alex, congratulations. Like this is incredible what you have achieved. You must be super proud of yourself, yeah?
I think sometimes we forget to stop and reflect on how far we've come. And I've only really done that in the last couple of weeks, because I think you're just looking at the next thing, rather than just stopping and actually saying, well done, you've done really well. So I think it's become really apparent for me this month that I do need to slow down to go faster. As I got from your conference last month, that was one of my aha moments. Yeah. It's really important that we do take stock so that we don't burn out, so that we can serve the people and show up the way that we want to show up for them. It's really important.
Oh my gosh, if anybody here is watching this and feeling inspired, just say inspired. I feel so inspired by your story, and I love to see the growth, right? Because you went from a solopreneur to a CEO, then in 12 months, then now you have 2 staff members and the business more than doubled in 12 months. So tell me, what was like the journey of moving from a solopreneur to a CEO? Like, do you have challenges? Tell me more.
So I think one of the things that became really apparent is that I would need to streamline my processes. I couldn't keep using manual processes throughout the year because they just weren't working for me anymore. And I think that's really hard when you're busy and you've had that growth, and then you need to implement another project or another software solution. So one of the biggest supports that Mika has provided to me over the last couple of months is the implementation of new engagement software for my clients. So what that meant, last financial year, I didn't even get out all of my engagement letters to my clients. And this is something, it's important in my industry that we have our services set out, expectations set with our clients in advance, and put the scope of work out for the year and get them to sign that. It's very important that we do that. I didn't even get to do that because I was just so overwhelmed with the growth of my business. So 6 months ago, I reached out to a software provider because they were having a really good deal before Christmas. And I set up this new software, but I had no time to actually build it, to put any proposals in, to test it out. So what did I do? I reached out to Mika and I asked her to start doing some of the training modules and reviewing some of the webinars, and us having some sessions together where I would run through the procedure of implementing a client proposal. And then I would provide her with instructions. I would provide her with the prior year proposals. And now, before 30 June, I now have an engagement proposal drafted for every single one of my client groups that I can then just go and review. When it's ready to be sent, I can send it out. And all of that work, automated invoicing, automated payment collection from my clients, has already been set up prior to 30 June.
Wow, that's amazing.
And last year I didn't even have engagement letters for everyone. So that's a massive achievement that I could not, there's no way, with the rate that I've had to work at, there is no way that could have been done prior to 30 June without Mika.
But see, Alex, I love that you're giving the credit to Mika, and Mika is amazing and she's a unicorn and all of that. But I want to also take the credit back to you, because you have taken the time with Mika. Because what a lot of people do is that they're like, I've got this hot potato here, you take it. I don't want to see it, right?
I don't believe in setting people up to fail. That's not fair. No,
that's right. I love that you actually have taken so much care of Mika, and you have been patient with her, and you've decided to spend time with her. Because what people tell me all the time is like, it's faster if I just do it.
Yes,
and
it is
like,
sometimes. in the moment, not forever.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't look at the long term, it's never faster if you just do it, because you're never going to get out of that cycle. It's like, I'm still going to keep doing it. Like you said before, you were stuck in 50% of your hours doing admin, and it means that you could never grow. So how did you overcome that phrase in your brain? Because I'm sure that you had it too, right? It's just faster if I just do it. What was the thing that made you overcome that?
Well, I think it's one of those habits that just kept repeating. It was something that kept showing up for me. And I knew I'd always had that mindset. It's just quicker and easier if I do it myself. But what I realized is that even if I spent 30 minutes correcting something, that was still half the time that it would have taken me to do that task myself. So say, for example, last year, if I was drafting a client engagement letter, that probably would have taken me an hour per client group in a manual process. So by having Mika spend that time, even if it spent me a half an hour updating and reviewing, I was still saving 50% of the time. So I could see the value in the fact that I was already paying for her to be there anyway. So I may as well utilize her time to save me at least 50% of my time.
50% at the very first month when it's a new task, but in the future, 100% of the time.
Even better. Yeah. Then getting to a point where I've provided enough feedback and support so that she's able to do that task unassisted.
Yeah. And so if someone is watching this and they go, oh, I get it, but I'm so busy, I don't have time to train someone. I don't have time to slow down to go faster. I don't have time to spend every day half an hour with the VA. I don't have time for that. Can they just do it? Can they just do it themselves? What would you say to them?
Absolutely not. Because you're not going to like the result that you get. You have to invest the time for them to grow and learn what your expectations are, what you actually need, how you work, what your brand is. They're not going to know that They're not psychic. You need to actually train them and spend the time. And I see it as an investment of time, because any time that I spend with Mika, I get that back immediately, because if she's spending 4 hours doing a task, even if she takes twice the amount of time that I do, that's still saving me 2 hours. So I still see it as it's freeing me up to do work that's actually going to make me money, as opposed to work that's going to take my time.
I love it. This is so valuable, Alex. I'm gonna get every single new client to watch this video. I'm gonna be like, please watch this.
Well, look, I still had that same frustration at the beginning, and I still have those same questions and doubts. That's normal, because when we get stressed and overwhelmed, we think it's easier if we do it ourselves. But it requires patience, it requires time, and it's an investment for you, because it will save you time in the long run.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so tell me about the supervisor, because a part of our agency is that we find and train virtual assistants for you in obviously social media and admin and how to be a VA and how to support you. But then obviously you have to still train them in your own business, which is what you did. But then we also give a supervisor to help you translate pretty much what is possible with a virtual assistant. So how did Ray, your supervisor, because every supervisor is assigned to a client and to a VA. So Ray is your supervisor assigned to your beautiful business. So how did Ray was able to help you in the business?
I think the best thing about having Ray there is I knew that if I was tied up, or Mika needed support or assistance, or even just to try and understand if I couldn't explain myself well enough, I knew there was someone else there to support her. I knew that if I had to go on leave, for example, there was always going to be someone else there to support her and help her through any questions that she had, particularly in those early days. I think the first 3 months, I think that really helped nurture the relationship, and also getting to catch up with Ray and discuss any challenges. She had more experience with that journey than I did. I'd never had a virtual assistant before. So she had obviously worked with virtual assistants for a long time and had that experience, so she could provide more insight and understanding for me, so that I could, if I had a minor frustration, it would make more sense after I'd spoken to Ray about it, and we could resolve any issues as they came up quickly, having her there and having her support. So I thought, it was great having someone else to talk to throughout that journey, because again, as I said, I'd never done it before. So I needed the support too.
Yeah,
to work out if I was doing the right thing, if there was any sort of miscommunication, how I could do that better. So I think that was really helpful for me, not just for Mika, but also for me in understanding how to get the most out of this relationship.
And oh my gosh, Alex, you just highlighted something there, because as a CEO, as a leader, we need to be humble, and you are super humble to go, what do I need to do? How do I need to step up to be the best leader for my VA, so that she succeeds or he succeeds as much as I do? So if my VA succeeds, I succeed, right? So I'm willing to put myself into discussion, into like, hey, am I doing the right thing? What else can I give this VA? What else should I do? And obviously we have implemented something new, Alex. I haven't told you yet. From August, I'll be doing one class every month with me on coaching, on like how to be the best leader, how to make the most out of your VA, answering any questions that you guys may have. So from August, monthly, we're going to be able to spend 1 hour together. I did a couple of months ago. We did one every couple of months, and you were in one of those calls. And I was like, you know what? I want to reach out. I want to be of more of support to my clients to make sure that because there's so much more that the VAs can do, and sometimes we don't know until someone tells us. So
absolutely, that's great.
I'm excited about that change. So if someone is watching this and they're thinking, oh, maybe I should just go on Upwork and find myself a VA directly, why would I go with the agency? What would you say to them?
Look, having spoken to other business owners who've done that same process, I've found that both myself and Mika, or the VA in this case, are so much more supported going through an agency. And the quality as well of what you're getting, the training that they're getting, I think is much better than just going and hiring any random person off Upwork. Particularly for me, offshoring any type of work was always a bit unnerving, because you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But knowing that you've got a dedicated team who is sourcing quality candidates in the Philippines gave me more confidence to take on that opportunity, which I think I wouldn't have done otherwise.
I love that. That's amazing. All right, we're coming to an end of the time. I know how busy you are. It's the end of financial year. And I can't believe we just took an hour an hour pretty much because we were chatting before the so thank you so much for your time and for showing up. And congratulations for your award and for your doubling the business and for everything that you've created. You should be so proud of yourself. I am so excited. I can't wait to have you next year in conference again and on stage sharing this incredible.
Wow, that'd be great.
I know. So good. Now, I wanted to ask you one last question. If you were to finish this sentence and you say, my VA is, what would you say?
My VA is one of the most beautiful human beings I have ever met. And I'm so grateful to know her.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And this is the other thing, Alex, is not just about having someone that does the task and is like a number, is they become part of our family, right?
Yeah, absolutely. She is. She's, anytime my son's homesick, she's right there when he's jumping on the call too. She's part of the family. She's part of the business. And I can't imagine it without her now. I think it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. I mean, definitely we're going to apply for the Best Boss Award next year because you sound amazing.
I'm very lucky to have her. We have a really good relationship. And I think we built that rapport really early on. And so I guess that's my biggest tip is, although you're busy, although it does take up time, you will get so much more out of the relationship if you build rapport early on and you really invest that time and energy and effort into your VA. You will reap the rewards out of that in your business and you will gain time and you'll gain freedom, but you have to invest that time first.
I love it. Absolutely. Alex, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for inspiring everybody here. And how can people find you and put themselves in a waiting list if they want to have you as an accountant?
Well, obviously I'm now on Instagram and Facebook, and my website is www.espressoaccounting.com.au. You can reach out to me there as well. I'm on LinkedIn, all the places.
Podcast? What's the name of the podcast again?
Oh, sorry. Yes, the Freedom Fridays Movement podcast on Spotify, up to releasing episode 40 come 30th of June this year. So yes, very exciting.
Congratulations, Alex. Thank you so much for your time. And sorry that we chose literally the busiest day for you.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm glad I could share with you today. And I hope it inspires someone today to think about how they could free up some of their time in their business and get a rockstar VA.
Absolutely. If you're watching this and you're ready for a Rockstar VA, just say Rockstar VA in the chat right now, and one of my team can reach out and book a call with one of my team to tell you all about what VAs can do. Have a look at your business, do a brainstorm or task that VA could do for your business, and see if it's the right next step for you. There's no obligation on this call. It's just to help you see what would that look like if you did have a virtual assistant. So if you're keen, just say Rockstar VA, and everybody also give congratulations to Alex for her amazing success that her and her VA were able to achieve this year. I can't wait to hear what's going to happen another 12 months.
I know. I can't wait either. It's very exciting. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this, you're definitely going to love my Facebook group where I've got over 11,000 people in it, and they're all business owners successful like you. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge, and in there I do classes every week, and I get to interview my clients, and I get to teach you all the things that I've done to get my business to 100K plus a month. So I look forward to have you in there. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge Facebook group in Facebook. I look forward to see you there. Ciao.